Hi, my name is Tijl Koenderink and I'm the founder and master trainer of Novilo, where we help schools, teachers and parents create a better place for gifted and talented kids. Hey, what I want to talk to you about today in this series about life attitude is where should the change come from? Because this is a discussion I've got on a lot of schools. And what are basically a possibility when something doesn't go right with a kid that is gifted, or basically any kid? There are two things you can do. You can change the school, or you can demand from the kid that he or she changes himself. Well, the problem is often extremes are chosen. Because let's take one side. Change the school. A kid is gifted, but he's also been tested, and now we found out that he's a visual spatial learner. So what is our conclusion? All the lessons from now on should be given in a visual spatial way. Well, this has its disadvantages, because what happens is that the school gets adjusted, the school gets changed, but the kid stays the same. And this has great effect in the short term, because the kid will be happy, the kid will get better grades. But the problem is, for how long? Because as soon as he goes to a different school, a different area, or he goes to study somewhere, and they don't change stuff up for him anymore, what then? And I see this happen to really extreme degrees, where, classrooms are completely remodeled because two kids are unhappy with it. The problem is, what I usually tell parents is, if you want this approach to work, then you need to schedule enough time in your calendar for the coming 20 years. Because when your kid is 25 and he's working for this big, McKinsey or something, like this huge consultancy firm, you need to keep time in your calendar, because when he's got a meeting with Exxon or something, like this huge company, you need to call them up in front and say, this 400 pages document that you're sending my son, please have it transcribed into mind maps, because he's a visual spatial learner. He doesn't like a lot of words. He's not really good with them. And when you have a meeting with him, you need to have a break every 10 minutes, because he's not so very good in focusing for a long time. And then parents start to laugh and they're like, yeah, you're overdoing it. But am I? Because if I see the types of changes that schools are doing to make it easier on the students, then sometimes it's leaning towards that there really is an extreme in what is changing in the world to make it easier for the kid. I'm not an advocate of the other side of the equation either. I mean, I don't say, we've been teaching like this for 40 years, the kids should just deal with it. Because a lot of kids get really depressed and really stuck that way. I mean, you don't help them that way either. But, the first thing, changing school changes a kid into a victim. Not changing the school makes him depressed, maybe. What's the ideal? The combination of both. Change the school so that the student can change. And what do I mean with that? Change the school so the student can be adjusted. And there are two things I want to say about that. Sometimes you need to change the school to help a kid forward. A lot of instruction moments in schools are too simple for gifted kids. What do they learn? I don't have to pay attention when somebody's talking. That's why you need to adjust your school. You need to change your school and sometimes give instructions that are really difficult, so the gifted kids are forced to focus. That's a way to change your school to help the student adjust, to help him develop the skills he needs. And what I got from Multiple Intelligence is one of their practices is what they call matching and stretching. Sometimes you match to the student, you have him do it his way. But sometimes you demand that he stretches as well, that he's forced to do it your way. Because that helps him forward. And now he's more flexible, now he's more freedom. Because now he can function in any environment. In an environment that's adjusted, but also in environments that are not adjusted. And I think that's a freedom you want to give your kid. That's a freedom you want to give your kids in your classroom, that they can function in any environment. So think about this. Make sure that the kid can function in any environment. Your kid will be thankful. In the end, probably not right now, but this is good for him. Yeah? This is another way to help him bring out the best in yourself and in each other. Thank you so much for watching.